So this week I decided to work on the deck beams for the doghouse. The deck beams are going to be what support the roof of the doghouse, and they're made of wood. I've never built deck beams before. It was definitely a learning experience, and it came with its challenges. My name is Matt. Follow along as I turn Duracell, the legendary ocean racing sailboat, into a comfortable cruising home.
So we're at Eden Saw in Port Townsend trying to choose the wood that we're going to use for our interior trim and deck beams. Kind of thinking this one. This is a mahogany?
Yeah, it's the Philippine mahogany. First thing I did was I built a form that I could clamp the laminated deck beams to. Next thing I did was mill the wood down to the right width as well as thin enough that they could be bent around the form. When it comes to laminating things like this together, I always use too much glue, which is, in my opinion, just better than using too little glue. So I always glue up both sides before I stick the laminates together. Then it was time to start clamping it to the form. It was a little difficult because I used so much glue. The planks are slipping and sliding all over the place. Just starting from the center and working my way out, they bent around the form pretty well.
It's so drippy.
Yep, that's what you want.
Means you used enough glue.
Yeah.
Hi subscribers. Probably the only thing that Matt doesn't like about making these videos is asking you all to like them. So I'm gonna help him out in this episode. Please like this video. It'll help us grow our channel so that hopefully Matt can spend more time working on Duracell and we can make better videos. So thanks again and enjoy the rest of the episode. So what are you doing this rainy morning?
So we've been working on these deck beams. So these are going to support the deck of the doghouse. So like the roof of the doghouse, basically. I'm just building two of them, and So I've got the two we did that one last night, laminated that one up, and this one we did like last week. And so I'm gonna kind of start trimming this one up, making it pretty, and then fitting it into the boat today. After the glue had dried, it was time to trim the edges and round the corners and cut them to length so I could start to think about fitting them into the boat.
Looks nice and flush now.
So when I pulled my deck beam off of the jig, like that one's on the jig now, it sprung out a little bit. It didn't hold its shape as well as I thought it would. It sprung out about an inch. And so I made this little tensioner to tension it back into shape. And so what I'll have to do is leave this tensioner on the beam until it's like glued in with the deck and everything. So the tensioning system that I put in this deck beam to keep the deck beam in shape was working, but it was losing tension over time, and so they were splaying out a bit as over the course of a day. And so what I'm doing is fastening this piece of OSB to one side of it. I'm going to route the outside edge. And so when it comes time to glue the deck onto the boat, I'll have this contraption. I'll take the tensioner out, but I'll have the deck beam with the OSB attached to it. And then once the deck is on, or the roof is on the doghouse and all glued together, then I can take this piece of OSB off, and all that will be left is the deck beam. And I'm going to do this with so there's going to be 5 total deck beams. There's these 2 big ones, and then there'll be 3 like intermediates that are smaller between the big ones. So yeah, this will be a good alternative to the tensioning system to keep the deck beams in the right shape. I made 3 smaller, more narrow deck beams after the first 2 that I made. These would be kind of intermediate beams that would go between the bigger ones and just add more support to the deck. So yeah, this is really exciting to have these deck beams they're not fit like permanently or anything. I'm just kind of getting a good look at how they look in the doghouse, and I think it looks awesome. I finally get to kind of see exactly what the shape of the deck is going to be, the roof of the doghouse, and so yeah, it's very exciting. Join us next week for a little bit different episode because we are going to LA to check out what we hope to be Duracell's new mast. We want to take a moment to thank our patrons who have been helping support our project. If you are interested in supporting, joining the community, just go to our Patreon page at the Duracell Project. So without further ado.
Thank you to our very first patron, Asla, and our second patron, Jonni, both from Norway.
And from David and Peta, who are from Australia, who are also refitting their own sailboat.
And from Cass, American Solo Sailor.
And thank you to Jamie, Alicia, and Sean.
Thank you so much, Philip, Susan, and my dear friend, Brooke.
Thank you to Cameron and Dennis.
Thank you, Mara, another dear friend, and thank you, Mom.
Thank you to Michael, the brothers Michael and Paul, and to a more recent subscriber, Rolf.
And thanks to our most recent patrons, Greg and Warren. Thank you guys so much. Your support gives us so much motivation to keep on making these videos.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.